Dear Michael from FCP Euro, my apologies for being a bad customer. Hello and welcome to How to Helen, where you learn something different every day. Today, we will be replacing an outer tie rod end on the passenger side of a 2006 Volkswagen Golf. And later, I will share with you a short story on how I became a bad customer for FCP Euro. While I was checking the brakes on the car, I noticed that there was a slight shake on this tire. When I grab it on the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock position and shake it, there's a little play on it. And immediately I know it's either the inner tie rod or the outer tie rod end. As you can see, it is very pronounced. So now I'm going to remove the tire to check on the issue. I'm going to turn the wheel going to the left so we have access in this area. From this position, if I move the rotors back and forth, you can see that it's the ball joint on the outer tie rod end that's loose. And it's not the inner tie rod. So this is what we need to replace. So here is the side story of how I became a bad customer. I ordered a part from FCP Euro and it came real quickly. When I received the part, I noticed that the new one is curving away from the joint. Here you can see clearly on the video that this new part is curving away from the joint, while the old one is curving towards the joint. So I immediately contacted customer service to let them know that they made a mistake. Their response was they sent the correct part. So I got mad and I told them, how can you tell me that this is the right part if I am clearly looking at both parts and they are completely opposite? And I sent them this picture. And I was so mad and screaming at their customer service. So they decided to send me the driver's side tie rod, which was the part that I needed, even though it was on the opposite side. So from their system, this is supposed to be for the passenger side, and this is the one supposed to be for the driver's side, which is what I really needed. Here they are all together. All right? Michael from FCP Euro and I did a little more digging in this matter. And surprisingly, we were both right and wrong. As it turns out, Volkswagen made an update that switches the tie rods from one side to the other. And they never told anyone. So if you ordered a pair, you would never know it was switched because you will get both tie rods. I just happened to be the first one to order one side only and noticed the change. Even Michael from FCP Euro didn't know about this. So Michael from FCP Euro, I apologize again for being a terrible customer, and thank you for sending me the correct or incorrect part depending on how you look at it. And that is why I will not try to jump into conclusions anymore. I will do my research before reacting. Anyway, back to the task at hand. So for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna put the driver's side tie rod because it is closer to the one currently installed. To remove this knot, use a 22mm open wrench. To remove the nut at the bottom of the tie rod end, you are going to need a 19mm socket wrench and hope that you get lucky, because if not, you're gonna need a hex bolt to pass through the socket in order to remove it. So the socket would be on the outer and the hex bolt will be holding the tie rod in place. So let's see if we get lucky. If we get lucky. Looks like we did. The nut is starting to release Uh-oh. No. So now we're gonna use a hex bolt underneath because we didn't get lucky. So I didn't get lucky, and worse, this current tie rod end doesn't have a hex screw on the bottom. So there's no way for me to put a hex screw there. I'm gonna do is hold on with the channel locks on the threads. I'm gonna use my slim open wrench to remove the nut from the tie rod end. Let's see if it works. Nope. Tighter. It's a big problem. So what I'm gonna do is take off this rubber cover for the bushing. Or maybe I can put a grip directly on the thread with the channel locks so it doesn't spin around when I'm taking out the nut. There you go. Hope that's tight enough. Nope, I guess not. Guess I need a bigger channel lock. Alright, here is a bigger channel lock. And let's hope this works better. Yes, it's moving just very, very slowly. So the good news is it does move, it's just very, very slow. This is the old nut and this is the new one. See, because it is threaded, it is less than likely to fall off, which is a good thing. Bad thing is it's so hard to remove if you need to replace it. Thank you, channel locks. Usually you have to tap this gently to take it off, but I guess this was really loose to begin with. When you replace an inner or outer tie rod, it is always advisable to get an alignment afterwards. Now, this is not a professional way of doing it, but when you take out the current tie rod end, count the number of turns until it releases. When you put in the new one, count the same number of turns so that your alignment would be as close as possible to the current alignment. Alright, I'm gonna start taking it off. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16 and a half. As you can see, this current tie rod end really needs to be replaced. Now let's put the new tie rod end in. Count this as half. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
15, 16. Before I put it back in its slot, I'm gonna put a little thread locker so that when I put the nut in, it would lock in position and I don't have to worry about it falling off. Just some peace of mind for me. Now put a little more on the nut. I know it's gonna hold in place because of the rubber thread, but again, it's better safe than sorry. Tighten the nut back in. Guess I should move you in a better position. Here is another angle of the nut you need to put in. So tighten it up. Because of the thread on the nut, it's a self-locking nut, so you don't really have to over-torque it. Plus, we did put the thread locker, so it should really stay in place. I'll lock this nut with a 22mm open wrench again. Just to test, as you can see, it doesn't move like it used to move before. So that is how you replace an outer tie rod end on a 2006 Volkswagen Golf. As you saw on the video, I did a lot of trial and errors to get the tie rod end out. That means if you're really determined to do the job, you'll find a way to do it. So once again, my apologies to Michael from FCP Euro for being a bad customer. And this has been another episode of How to Helen. My name's Arja. Thank you for watching.